You. 'Cause God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. And for when I think
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you don't know me, I am Alyssa.
I'm Steven.
And today we're going to talk about our relationship and being in a committed relationship at a young age. So, Steven and I met when I was 18 and he was 19. And we got married when we were both 21. We're going to talk about the hardships and our ups and downs with things. Being at a young age in a committed relationship, we lost a lot of friends. We gained really good couple friends, as the time went on. But we did definitely lose a lot of friends. And we had a lot of arguments when we first were together.
Yeah, I think this video is going to be like about the beginning, like the adjustment of everything, and we learned a lot about our friends and stuff. And then
We learned a lot about ourselves.
yeah, a lot about ourselves and a lot about the people we had surrounding us.
So when we first started dating, we were still very young, and we were still in our stages of being single, because we both were single for a while before we got together. And with that, you have single friends, and you're doing single things with single friends. And when we started dating is when we lost a lot of our friends. And that was because now we were in a relationship, and we were in a committed one. Steven proposed very early on into the relationship, so our relationship was very fast, was very quick. And I think that also put in perspective of our friends.
Yeah.
We got to see who was our real friends and who wasn't. We got to see the people that we wanted to surround ourselves with and the people that we didn't.
Yeah, because I mean, once you first start dating, it's more of like, oh, you're dating this person, cool. And then once you start like building a future on it, and you start like making moves to become a future with that person, then it's like, then people start to kind of push themselves away in a sense, or they start showing their true colors of like who they are. Because when you're single, it doesn't matter. But once you start being in like a committed relationship and you want to have a future with this person, people start showing you sides of like just things that they don't either believe in or that they're not ready to, so they don't think you should be ready to. And it's just, you learn a lot when you become in a committed relationship and you're still surrounded by people that you knew from, whenever.
Yeah. And we got a lot of questions when we first started dating, and even when we got engaged, is like, you guys are so young, why do you guys want to get married?
Yeah.
And in my eyes, I'm not doing anything different being married. Other than being married. Like, if that even makes sense. Like,
You want to be with your significant other majority of the time because you're married. Like, you don't want to necessarily like just go out all the time and be by yourself when you have like single friends and people that want to, because they don't have anybody else to.
And we
like,
still do that. We still go out and do things, and I'll have a girls' night with my friends. He'll go out with his guy friends, and we still do things like we were if we were not together. But we don't, disrespect the boundaries. But what we do is we go out with our girlfriends. We'll go out as couples. We'll have like our other couple friends. We'll go out to dinner. We'll go out here. We'll do stuff together.
Couples.
And then we also have our girlfriends and our guy friends that we will also go and hang out with separate of each other. And I think that's very important, is making sure that you have a separate time away from each other, because being together 24/7 can put a very big strain on your relationship. Yeah. We have gone through a lot of friends and a lot of couple friends and single friends, and we've gone through friends left and right. And I think because we are very strong-minded. We always have, like, open communication with each other, and we always try to talk things out with each other. And then same thing with our friends. We've always gotten questions of why we were gonna get married at such a young age.
Yeah.
We can live our lives, we can go do this, we can go do that. And yes, it's true, but I want to do that with him. And I feel that this is our time to get married. This is our time to do this. And I don't feel as though I'm going to regret anything. I don't feel as though that I'm going to miss out on my 20s because I'm married. Like we just said, we still do things. We still go out. We still see our friends. We still do all of that stuff.
Yep.
Our best friends have 2 kids.
Yeah.
And they still make time to go out with us. They still make time to do things with us. I mean, obviously, one person's going to be home with the babies while the other one goes out. But, like, we always plan it out.
Yeah.
I'll go out with her at night. Like, we'll go out to the club and we'll just drink and dance and have fun and let loose. And the next morning, more than likely, they're going out fishing.
Yeah.
Like, at 6 o'clock in the morning. So...
And it's not just necessarily, like, it's not, like, going out, like we don't go out, like, partying and, like, come back just, like, wasted and, like, it's not...
We do!
It's not that. I mean, you know, for some, that's what they want to do. But, like, for us, it's more of just, like, going out, relaxing. But the main thing is it's you having some time to yourself with your friends and just kind of, like,
You have
recuperating.
your separate... We got a lot of mail. So it's good to be separate from each other, because that was a struggle that we had when we first moved in together. We were always together. We'd literally wake up together, go to work, come back home together, and then do that all through the week. And then on the weekends, we were doing the same thing. We were still together the entire weekend. And I noticed when we were doing that, we were bumping heads a lot. But at that time, when we first moved in together, we didn't have the friends that we have now to be
Yeah.
able to depend on, to be like, I'm coming over. Like, we need to break away. We need to go
Yeah.
have a girls' night. We need to go do this. We didn't have those people.
We were still trying to, like, establish a good
Boundary.
yeah, like a good, like,
We were trying to establish a boundary between each
Yeah.
other, but we were also still in the process of trying to find good friends. In relationships, when you're friends with other couples, you sort of compare your lives to the other person.
Yeah.
You kind of make it in a competition when it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a learning experience with one another, and I've noticed that with a lot of couple friends that we've had and have, that it's always a competition.
it's always, well, you know, we can do this better, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It's definitely, and that aspect is not necessarily something you want either, because then it just
No.
creates tension in your friends and relationship, and then, you know, you and your significant other start talking about stuff, and then it's like, well, you know, maybe it's just a snowball effect.
So when we moved in together, we didn't have all these bills. And again, that's something else that is going to be a big shocker and a big problem. Money will always be an issue in everyone's relationship, no matter if you have money or you don't, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, if you're not. No matter what, money is always going to be a big factor in someone's relationship. And that's a problem. But it's the truth.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, it's a learning curve. You don't want to get married and then move in together, and then you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know any of these things until we moved in together.
Right. He could be completely terrible with money.
Yeah.
And management and everything like that. And when you move in together, if you got married and move in together, yes, you could learn, you know, how to manage it better, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna get better.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So we had to learn things together. We had to move forth in our relationship together with things to figure it out, because it was a learning process.
It was a learning process for sure.
I think now, looking at our life now, and from when we first moved in and got together and stuff, we had nobody. We had our family, but that was it. We didn't have our friends like we wanted. My best friend lives out of state, and then my other really good friend, she lives here, but she currently is working 2 jobs. She's we're just like always opposite schedules.
Yeah.
So that sucks. But then as we grew, we met more people that are amazing.
Yeah.
And that I'm very thankful for. We have 2 amazing couple friends that like will drop anything for us.
All right, shameless plugs. Jesus.
Ryan, remember we were talking about his outfits and like him in his pop-up shop? And like we said before, Milo and Max are literally best friends, and they have always been very supportive of us, and we've been very supportive of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Same thing with our other 2 really great friends. They have our niece and nephew. Like they will drop everything for us, and we would do the same thing for them. So we've learned, and we've gotten really good friends.
It just takes time. You just have to find like the right people. And
You're gonna weed out so many negative people. You're like, oh wow, I didn't even really care if I was their friend.
You may go through 6, 10, 20 couple friends before you find that 1 or 2 that are really like that are just going to be there no matter what.
Right.
So it takes time. I mean,
it does.
We definitely got flustered, in the process of trying to find friends.
Yeah. And it almost got lonely.
Yeah.
Like you're weeding out all of these people that were so negative, and then now it's hard to find the positive people that are in your life. The positive people that would do the same thing that we would do.
It definitely like makes you rethink everything when you keep going through friends, and you're just like,
oh yeah,
what's wrong with me?
You have that mindset in your brain already saying a phone goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
So if you're texting this one person all the time and ask them to hang out, ask them how they are, this, that, and the other, and they don't do the same to you, it's the same thing with friendships. If you're putting in all this effort to be like, I'm making time out of my day to be able to be with you, you should be able to make that time to be with me.
Yeah.
And it's different if you have other responsibilities. If you have school and you have kids. Yeah. That's harder to me. That seems to be different. But you always make an effort.
Yeah.
You always try.
It definitely it's definitely a thing where you'll learn, and then I feel like every couple friends that we went through, we learned something, and we took a piece of it and said, okay, well, this is what we don't want, or this is what we did like. So now you kind of basically like build your own friend in a sense, build your own couple in a sense, where you just like, you find things and you learn, and it's just like any other relationship. You learn things from past relationships that help you for the future relationships. So you learn.
Yeah. And nobody is perfect.
Yeah,
our relationship is not perfect. We have a lot of things that we have to focus on and work on as a couple. And same thing for anybody else. You have to be able to do that. But we know how we are as friends, and that's just the same thing that you have to figure out, like, what you accept and don't accept as a friend.
Like, who do you want?
Right.
Like, what is your thing? Alright guys, Max is
he can't get on the couch.
Yeah, his cone's a little too big now. Oh, okay. Never mind. He got on the couch.
Head first on the couch. So the one thing that I think is like very important in your relationship is obviously communication, but another one is the fact that you always are trying. You should always try in your relationship. You should never give up. And that's with like date nights and romantic things and affection and love and all of that stuff, because without that, there is no relationship. So I feel that is something that needs to be always first and foremost, no matter what, is having that.
Yep.
So that concludes our first video.
Yeah, our first one.
And again, plug Ryan. He's not making these sweatshirts anymore, but he does have a new shirt out. Go look at it. Go buy it. Go buy my shirt, my makeup shirt, $25 in the blue. I wore it in the last video, so if you didn't watch it, go watch it. If there's anything else that you guys want us to touch base on or that we did not touch base on, please let us know.
Yeah. Alright guys, we will see you guys next week with our next video.
And we will see you guys next week.
Peace.
Bye.